The 8 best plants for edible landscaping. Artichokes and cardoons are imposing plants that would be worth growing in the landscape, even if you couldn't eat them. Most animals will not want to munch on the prickly leaves, and as long as the flowers are a few feet off the ground, nothing should touch them. The leaves of bean plants are more attractive to animals than the bean pods. To get around this, you can grow pole varieties in flower borders by encircling the bottoms of the plants in chicken wire. It isn't particularly noticeable at a distance, and the plants eventually cover it. You may lose some leaves that poke through, but the animals don't destroy the whole plant and the beans remain intact to harvest. Most four-footed animals avoid eggplants. That could be because they are scratchy and thorny, or maybe there are just more tempting plants to eat in the yard. Let's face it, humans are the only animals that devour these alliums. If there are fail-safe vegetables for edible landscaping, it would be onions, garlic, and chives. You can protect other vegetables by interplanting them with chives, but chives have a tendency to quickly spread. If you don't want them taking over your garden, don't let them go to seed. Since garlic and onions need to be dug up when harvested, they can be trickier to interplant. But you could always use them along borders. Growing peppers in the landscape poses the same problem as growing beans. The leaves are more attractive to animals than the fruits. Young transplants seem to be especially vulnerable. Once the stems toughen up, the damage becomes minimal. Knowing that, wait until they are about 6 inches tall before planting them in the open. Perennial herbs are the safest choice for edible landscaping. Annual and biennial herbs, like parsley, basil, and cilantro, are surprisingly appealing to animals, considering their strong scent. Maybe it's their succulent foliage that makes them targets. But woodier herbs, like sage, oregano, thyme, lemongrass, rosemary, and lavender, all fare better in the yard. Mint can also remain attack-free, although many gardeners would not mind if someone wanted to thin out their mint patch for them. Eating flowers from the flower garden may seem a little odd at first. Somehow planting them in the vegetable garden makes it seem more sensible to snip them for a salad. But growing edible flowers throughout your yard should be a part of every edible landscape. Just be sure not to feed or spray them with anything you don't want to ingest. Although fruits, nuts, and berries are certainly alluring to animals, there's generally enough to go around, with a little netting and protection. The real advantage of using these plants as an edible landscape is that they require minimal care and most look good for at least 3 seasons. A little spring pruning and feeding and most will take care of themselves. Consider the visual impact of a blueberry bush that covers itself with white flowers in spring, dusky purple berries in summer, and radiant red leaves in the fall. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.